This Friday will be the deadline for the SEC to appeal the Grayscale Bitcoin Spot ETF, and if the SEC doesn't file an appeal, it basically would mean that all the Bitcoin Spot ETFs will get accepted. So this is massive. I will be exactly talking about what this means for Bitcoin, what it means for Grayscale, and many more important stuff, because the inflation is going to hit the markets today, and many more important charts will be getting discussed. So without any further ado, don't forget to slap up that like button, back up 400 likes on today's update video, and if we can manage to do that, that will be absolutely incredible. And with that being said, let me jump straight away in towards the imminent short term for Bitcoin. And yes, once looking at the imminent short term for Bitcoin, we can clearly currently see Bitcoin is in a massive downward sloping move here, and the question really remains, where are we going to be finding support? And so far it actually looks to be that we have found somewhat of a support level, because yes, in yesterday's video I talked about the 26.7k to be massive support for Bitcoin. And like you can see, after we broke out of this symmetrical triangle, we broke towards the downside, and Bitcoin exactly bounced from 26.7k, like I said. And of course, I've also opened up a small little short position, and actually we got perfectly entered from of this trade. And I said to everyone out there, on 26.7k, I'm going to close 40% of my profits. So that was exactly on the low right here, and now Bitcoin has bounced a little bit towards the upside, and the stop loss is already in profit. So the trade is doing absolutely fine here. But for Bitcoin, yes, the question really remains, are we really going to be having another massive move towards the downside, since yes, we have officially broken below critical support for the Bitcoin price action right now here. You can see this level right here was one of the most important levels, and I said to everyone out there, either if we break above the top side or below the lower side, we're going to see some volatility. And my next price target on this chart is around 24.8k, what is quite a bearish target. But let me say this correctly, because I will be saying this, as long as we're holding up above this 26.7k on the 4 hourly time frame, I won't be expecting we're going to come down to 24.8k. And if we manage to be bouncing back from off this level, we can go back towards these highs of around 28,000 US dollars. But if we manage to break this level and we break below it, we break and confirm the break on the 4 hourly time frame below 26.7k, then I will be really expecting we are going to be going down here. So this is what I'm looking at right now for the imminent short term for Bitcoin. I went through it very quickly right now here, but these are all the most important things to be looking at. I mean, looking at the momentum on the 1 hour time frame, we don't really see a clear momentum divergence. And yes, of course, if you want to be trading this or joining me with any trades here, yeah, there are a lot of altcoin opportunities out there in the market right now here. Make sure to go to BYBIT, because BYBIT allows you to be opening up a trade. And also, if you are going to be signing up an account on BYBIT right now here, you can actually claim a free 1,000 US dollars for only depositing $100 in your first 7 days after you sign up an account using that link below here, because otherwise it won't be valid. So that's an absolutely insane deposit bonus that's currently is still running. It's going to be available for another 20 days, so make sure to come very quickly. And of course, going in towards the data, later today, in approximately 6 hours from now on, we're going to see the core and regular inflation hit the market. And so far, it's predicted that the core inflation is going to be dropping by 0.2%. And like I've been saying on the videos for many times before, right? What is very important is that it is going to come in colder than expected, because if it's coming hotter than expected, we're probably going to see a big dump. If it's going to come in colder, what means lower than expected, we're probably going to see a big pump here. So that is what we're looking at. I will be giving you guys many updates on my Twitter channel as well here. But lately, the inflation data across the market really has created less volatility. But this week, we could be seeing, of course, quite a significant drop here. So let's see where this is going to be coming in at, because yes, the core inflation is definitely the most important inflation to be looking at. I mean, it looks to be that regular inflation is probably going to be rising again here, or is going to be sticky. Yeah, as long as core inflation drops, it's going to be good. So we're going to be keeping our eyes wide open on that one as well. Then maybe going in towards the most important news out there is talking about the Grayscale Bitcoin Spot ETF, because yes, this Friday it's the deadline for the SEC to file an appeal for the Grayscale Bitcoin Spot ETF. And you have to understand, if they don't do that, if they do not appeal this decision in court, what basically means they will have no further option to decline any of the Bitcoin Spot ETFs, because they will just lose the case as well, and that will be very bad for their track record. So at the same time, we can see that the GBTC premium gap is closing quickly. I will be talking about that in a second and what it means for Bitcoin. But basically, this would potentially mean that this Friday could be the Friday that we're going to see the Bitcoin Spot ETFs going to get approved. But basically, this is gigantic news here, and if it turns out that the SEC won't appeal the Grayscale Bitcoin Spot ETF, it will be massive for the entire market. So at the same time, we can see that actually the Grayscale BTC premium is really running down very quickly. What does it mean? Right now, the premium is sitting around 16% here, what basically means that you can buy a Bitcoin for 16% discount, and what would mean for an approximately 22,000 US dollars. And yes, once the fund gets converted in a spot ETF, you can basically get your Bitcoins out of it, and you basically bought your Bitcoins with an approximately 16% discount, what is of course absolutely massive. So we can see the Grayscale premium gap here is really running back here after its lows from the bear market. And I mean, if you would have bought Bitcoin here in the Grayscale fund around 17,000 US dollars, you also had a 50% discount, what meant that you literally bought Bitcoin for 8 to 9,000 US dollars, what is of course absolutely massive. Here also around 22,000 US dollars, you could also buy it with an approximately 40% discount. So I mean, this is of course absolutely crazy, and this could be turning out to be a very great investment. And I think the people that are actually speculating on Bitcoin spot ETF is going to be happening are actually right now buying Grayscale. So that is really what I'm looking at right now here. Further on, we can really see that Bitcoin of course still is creating the massive downward sloping resistance line, and my question really remains, when are we going to be breaking above it? Because as soon as we do break above this level, I will be expecting we're going to see some massive moves getting created, and Ethereum is right now hanging on maybe the most important weekly support out there. And if we break below this level, potentially we could be heading lower for Ethereum. And yes, that is why I should be watching this level very closely, because in 3 days from now on, we're going to of course close the weekly candle once again here, and if Ethereum breaks below this level, we could be in some more problems right here. But anyways, this was it for me in today's update video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out. Goodbye.